Let's go to Andy. Andy is next up on PTL. Hey, Andy, what's up?
Oh, is this Brian?
No, you want to speak to Brian?
Please hold.
Oh, here we go again.
Is this Andy? Is this Andy?
Please hold.
This is
Brian.
Andy.
Okay, I'm sorry, Andy. Go right ahead. I'm just teasing you. Go ahead.
All right. Oh, here we go. You're not playing this game on me. You did this to me last time.
I'm not playing a game.
Okay,
I'm
you're
not
talking to Brian.
Andy, let me
All
be
right,
very
hey,
clear.
Leonard.
Hold on.
All
Andy,
right.
let me be very clear so somebody like you can understand. Andy, you're live on the radio right now.
There you
You're
go.
on a syndicated
Thank you.
show.
Mhm.
You're speaking to a guy by the name of Brian Shapiro. Did I make that
Go.
clear enough for you? Go ahead now.
Okay. Now here we go with the constructive criticism. Are
Fine.
you ready?
Go right ahead.
All right. Here's the problem. The problem is you want these right-wing guys to interview because you want access, so you glaze them, like George Santos.
I glazed
You let him
them.
go on and on and on and on.
No, that's not true.
lying.
They blaze themselves. If they call and they have
hold
a
on.
good quality point and they're making a good point, then Brian will let them
Who,
make
George
it.
Santos?
So let me respond.
George Santos? How many
Sir,
points
sir,
did George Santos?
Sir, I'm trying to respond to what you just said in a very respectful manner. First of all, something that you are very unaware of because you're clearly not a radio business and you didn't know how much time I had with him. So let me educate you. When I had George
Go ahead.
Santos coming on the show, I had a maximum of 15 minutes. I don't even think I got that. In a 15-minute conversation, and the reason why I wanted to have him on was to not debate about policy or how horrible Donald Trump is. It was to talk about his pardon. That took about 10 minutes of the interview. We had a little bit of debate. I did not have time to go at it with him. Now, if George gave me an hour or a long-form debate that I had with Myron Gaines and Tim Pool and those types of conversations, then I would have had more time to have a conversation with him about things that I disagree with policy. When you have 15 minutes in a 15-minute interview,
about policy.
sir, it was about, I just told you, it was about his pardon. And I asked him about Marjorie Taylor Greene because there were rumors that Marjorie was the reason why he was pardoned. I asked him if he would actually pay back the money that he stole from people. That was the logist of the interview, sir. In long form interviews, and by the way, it wasn't my idea to have him on for 15 minutes. It's all he was willing to give me. I would have rather had him on for 45 minutes or an hour to be able to have a real long form debate with, by the way, with some people that I do. So that wasn't me glazing George Santos. Also, you might disagree with my opinions on George Santos. I think he did some horrible things. I don't think he deserved to be pardoned. I also don't believe that he deserved to be in solitary confinement. There had to be somewhere in the middle. I also told him that you should pay back the people that you stole from. Now, I disagree with George on a number of policy issues, but I didn't have him on to talk about policy issues. I had him on to talk about his pardon. Now, does that clear things up for you at all, or do you still think I glaze George Santos?
You glazed George Santos.
Okay,
Okay, so if he called you a liar, if he called Brian a liar like the last person did, it would have went much differently. Am I right?
So how did I glaze George Santos after my explanation to you?
George Santos and Tim Pool.
Well, let's start with George. Let's start with George Santos, and I'm not going to tolerate your homophobic jokes. Okay, so let's go back to George Santos, and then I'm happy to have a Tim Pool conversation with you. Be specific. What did I say or do? Be specific. What did I say or do that would lead you to believe that I glazed George Santos? Go ahead.
Okay, listen. Hold on a minute. I have a job, right? I don't remember everything you said last week.
Okay, so you're making no. Hold on. You hold on. No, pod you down, sir. When you call into a radio show and you make a claim, you should you call somebody something. In this case, you're saying I glazed somebody. You should be able to at least come up with one or two things that I did in that very short 15-minute interview.
He was talking about how great Trump was, and
you think I agreed? You
can't let him go on your show just because you want access.
He wasn't okay. So first of all,
lie after lie.
So first of all, you clearly didn't hear anything I told you in the explanation. No, you didn't, because if you did, you would understand. Either that or you're not very smart. Number two, I have George Santos's cell phone number. We've talked privately off the air. He will come on my show when I need him to come on my show. Lately, he's been a pretty busy guy. So it's not about access. You're also wrong about that. George has my. You're the one who talked about access. You're saying I had him on because I needed access. Okay, so you can't come up with anything that I said particularly in that interview.
He said it was a week ago, and he can't remember.
Yeah, you can't remember.
But he called to talk about what you said. That makes no sense.
Okay, then guess what? If you have other things going on, then don't call into a show and make a claim. Don't come onto a show. Don't come onto a show and make a claim when you can't back it up with facts. Now, you also just said, sir, I know you have a job, but you also just said that I glazed Tim Pool. How did I glaze Tim Pool? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
It's not my job.
It's not your job. Okay, pod the idiot down.
But he called to talk about it.
So idiot, let me explain to you something. I didn't ask you to call into the show and make claims about me glazing people, okay? You're the one who called into the show. For example, if I called into Sean Hannity's show, for example, which I wouldn't, but if I did, and I say, you wear the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7. He said, give me some examples of why you feel that way. And I responded by saying, well, I work. I don't have any examples in front of me. You would call me an idiot, and rightfully so. Sir, you are an idiot. You call into a show. You're just like MAGA. You can't come up with any examples when you say I glaze over people. And by the way, you mentioned the Tim Pool Russia thing. I think that's something that you just mentioned, which, by the way, I've had private conversations with him. When somebody invites me on a show to have spirited debate on policy, it's not spirited debate on his personal financial dealings or my personal financial dealings. That wasn't something he wanted to talk about, and it's his show. I'm willing to get into debates with him. We talked about a number of different issues, and never did I glaze any of the topics when we talked about it. In fact, I probably disagreed with him on anything. Now, sir, I understand you have a job, so you probably need to get back to your job and make those glazed donuts. What do you think about that?
He should be more prepared.
Why don't you be more prepared when you call into the show?
It's not my job. I'm not on the radio.
So why don't you go back to your job, you freaking moron?
If he's going to call, he should be prepared. What do you mean it's not his job? Those were his questions. Like you said, you weren't feeding him questions. He was asking you, and then he said, I can't actually remember what he said. Then why call in? Why try to make a point?
Yeah, you glaze.
Is he a MAGA?
Let me be very clear, sir. I think you
glaze MAGA.
I think you glaze over me every single day. I think you pleasure yourself to me every single day. And I don't know, maybe you have a fetish for the Young Turks and you want to get that guy in the bedroom with you. I don't know. But, I found out it was the last caller, not this caller, both idiots. I don't know. You think I glaze over people. See, there's a difference between being respectful to somebody when you have a 15-minute interview and glazing over somebody. And what this guy feels.
No, you're glazing.
Okay, so go back to your job, sir, whatever you do. By the way, what do you do for a living? Let me ask you.
What do
you do for a living? What do you do for a living, sir? You've had 15.
Andy.
So why don't you flush yourself down the toilet?
Hey, Brian,
flush yourself down the toilet. You're a terrible plumber. Flush yourself down the toilet.
Are you a car salesman? Are you a used car salesman?
No, I'm a plumber.
You're a turd is what you are. You're a turd. Flush yourself down the toilet.
No, hold on a minute.
I respect plumbers.
Wait a minute.
You turd.
I'm a turd.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You want an example?
Yeah, plumber. Yeah,
is his name Andy? His name's not Andy, right?
The Russia tenant media thing was not about his personal finances.
Yes, it was.
He was going on and on and on about how terrible Ukraine was when he was getting that money from Russia.
Gotcha.
You should have done the research.
So do you have? No, I did do the research. In fact, I know a lot more than you.
No, you did, because you had no idea.
Okay, so what was he said? What was he told to say? What is the evidence that you have that he was told to spread Russian propaganda?
Oh, wait a minute. He was saying Ukraine was.
No, I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you what he said. I need you to pay attention to the question. I know people like you.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I need you to. That would mean that you have to listen.
I'm waiting.
Where's your evidence? That direct evidence. And by the way, that Russia paid him to spread propaganda. And my second part of the question is, why did the Joe Biden administration drop charges if there was wrongdoing? What's the matter? You can't explain.
No, I'm answering the question.
No, you're not answering it.
So you're telling me you trust Benny Johnson?
No. Hold on. I asked you a question. I didn't say I trust Benny Johnson. Answer my question. I didn't say I trusted David Rubin. Answer my question. Why did they, if you think there was wrongdoing, criminal wrongdoing, and there was criminality involved here, by the way, if an adversary pays you to spread disinformation, that's against the law. Joe Biden originally charged Tim Pool, and then his own DOJ dropped the charges. If there was wrongdoing in a criminal fashion, please explain to me why they dropped the charges. Go.
I will. Are you ready?
Yeah, I've been waiting. Go ahead.
Okay. How come Merrick Garland?
No. You don't answer the question with a question, dumbass. It has nothing to do with that. Answer me the question. Why did Joe Biden's DOJ drop the charges on Tim Pool if you're claiming there was criminality? Go.
Biden's DOJ didn't have a hair on their ass. That's
Okay,
why.
so
come on.
All right, get off my show. You're an absolute
They didn't
loser.
have hair on their ass. Really? That's your response?
I wish the plumber would be flushed down the toilet. Oh my God, what a moron.
He needs to do some research.
This guy didn't even know that the Biden administration dropped the charges. You see, sir, I think we know who did their research and who didn't. Don't call
Is
into
that
the
a legal
show.
term? He didn't have a hair on his ass. Is that
Exactly.
a legal reasoning?
These people
Is
are
that
so-
common sense?
these
Is that
people-
factual? You need to read and study and then call back when you're a little more prepared to make the point.
I think he
he's
was
trying to make.
I think he was
'Cause
glazing.
That was terrible.
He was glazing over.
He glazed over Brian. Brian, he glazed over
He
you.
glazed.